Abortions in Texas dropped noticeably after state lawmakers passed House Bill 2. In 2013, before the law took effect, doctors performed more than 63,000 abortions in Texas. The following year, those numbers dropped 14% to just over 54,000 abortions. Today's Supreme Court ruling did not change two other controversial parts of House Bill 2. The Texas law still bans abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. The state law also requires women to visit a doctor 3 separate times in order to take an abortion-inducing drug. Today's ruling certainly will not be the end to this debate. KXAN political reporter Phil Prazen is live at the state capitol with a preview of what could be coming in the next legislative session. Phil?
Well, Robert, Texas legislative districts are considered safe districts, so we'll likely see nearly the same people here in the Senate. We'll likely see nearly the same people in the House. And this decision didn't change anybody's hearts and mind, but what it did do was shift the focus on where we're going to regulate. So a lot of lawmakers are talking about, instead of regulating the clinics, they're thinking about legislating what type and who pays for the abortion procedure itself.
While celebrating the victory, pro-choice supporters know the fight is not over.
We're going to rely on the medical professionals to help us know what is the correct science here, the correct medicine here.
Lawyers for the Texas Alliance for Life are looking to see what they can come up with next legislative session in response to the ruling.
Getting rid of unnecessary sonogram tests, lying to clients about medically inaccurate information.
Joe Poyman from the Texas Alliance for Life says a goal would be to ban insurance companies, both public and private, from offering plans with abortions.
We want to protect every unborn child from abortion, but the Supreme Court obviously severely ties the hands of the legislature, so we can only do what's possible.
John Seago from Texas Right to Life says this decision will take the emphasis off the clinics and onto the procedure itself. Next session, he says they'll push to ban dismemberment abortions and ban abortions after 14 weeks, going down from 20 weeks currently.
Not whether clinics stay open, not how long it takes to get to a clinic, but the real core question is whether elective abortion is an ethical decision that we want to allow in our state.
A victory for pro-choice for now, but nowhere close to ending the debate in Texas.
And if you were wondering what that pounding was, well, workers here are getting ready for the next legislative session. Still 6 months away, but a lot of work here is getting done. And we need to look at this through the prism of the 2016 election. The next president will decide the 9th Supreme Court justice. And so this will be a major step of whether this country is pro-choice or pro-life going into the future.
And Phil, which Texas lawmakers are likely to sponsor anti-abortion legislation? And with Wendy Davis gone now from the legislature, who's likely to lead the fight against those bills?
Well, our local Senator Charles Schwartner up in Georgetown, he's actually already holding hearings about what to do with fetal tissue after an abortion, whether that could be sold to use for scientific studies. He has very much come out against it. There's been some recent controversies with anti-abortion activists recording, kind of bringing this issue to the forefront. And on the other side, local Austin Representative Donna Howard. She was the only lawmaker there at the press conference for the pro-choice side today, and we can expect her to be very active this next session.
Phil Prazen live at the state capitol. Thanks so much. The Supreme Court